It was bubbling a number of months ago and then disappeared, and this morning Axios, quoting two sources, suggests that the president, really upset with Chairman Powell of the Federal Reserve, is considering replacing him with a former Fed governor, Kevin Warsh. This has a little bit of history to it within all of it, and we'll go into that in a moment. Going back to 1964, after the assassination of John F. Kennedy and Lyndon Baines Johnson wanting to get that economy going, and he went after William McChesney Martin. We speak with our Kevin Cirilli in Washington. Kevin, an extraordinary report from John Swan and Axios. What is your reporting on how upset this president is with his chairman of the Fed?
Yeah, it doesn't really match Jonathan Swan's. Look, I think that the bottom line here is that when you look at how the president has gone after the Fed board with the arrival of Stephen Moore, who could face a difficult nomination process in the Senate. But with the arrival of Stephen Moore onto the Fed board, the president now has a voice in the Federal Reserve to continue to press the central bank and its independence and its ability to echo what the president has to say. Stephen Moore, with the arrival of him, is now that voice on the Fed board.
We've never seen this fractionness, Kevin. I mean, I mentioned LBJ in ancient history, but to the present here, there's the nuance of demoting Chairman Powell to becoming a member of the Board of Governors as he is now, or maybe what you do with Kevin Warsh. Why would there be any presumption by the White House or by President Trump that Kevin Warsh would toe the Trump line?
Well, exactly, and in particular that when you've seen in the past, even Fed chairs of yesteryear, whether it's previous Chair Yellen and her relationship with the Obama administration, for example, she was largely seen as someone who would have been more in line with Obama and then ultimately went through with her independence. But when you even take a broader step beyond that, when you look at U.S.-China trade talks, for example, the market has priced in that there would be some type of an agreement between the U.S. and China. And the debate right now amongst economists within the administration is heading into a political cycle. Do you want to get a deal with China, or do you want to continue? Do you want to get a deal with China and boost the markets, or do you want to continue to demonize them ahead of the 2020 cycle?
Well, I have to admit that Chairman Powell, maybe in the last 90 days, Kevin, has done a spectacular job of moving the market higher, of the complete shift to lower interest rates as well. Who has Chairman Powell's back on Capitol Hill?
McConnell, as well as virtually every establishment. I mean, not even just establishment, virtually every politician who wants to see the Fed have its independence. Look, I don't really see this as a serious threat right now for Chairman Powell at all. It's not something that I gather is truly a serious threat. I think that it would inject a lot of uncertainty. It would also have to go through another Senate confirmation process in the Senate Banking Committee. And I just personally don't even see the time on the calendar for that.